watching along as we record this every Monday afternoon out at our Dillon store location on Vine Street. We have a fun guest today. We've had a chance to talk before our program. It's Sarah Nowlin Edens, and she is a new publisher. And when you talk about publishing, that looks, you think about great big companies that you go into the bookstores and you see those great big company names.
Right.
You're not quite like that, are you?
No, we're not. We're a whole different ball wax.
Now, your name of your company is Silver Tongue Press, and you're
Right.
located, of all places, Ellis, Kansas.
That's one location.
That's one location, and you're connected around the world via internet.